Hey, what's up YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I just bought this Keter Deco elevated garden bed. It was on sale in Sam's Club for $79.99. Originally priced on this item on their website is listed as $179.99. Of course, Sam's Club had it discounted at $97.94 or something like that. But this morning it was discounted down to $79.99. So we had to snatch this thing up. I've been looking for one of these for quite a while, especially for my wife. So it's a raised garden bed. It's about, let me see what the dimensions are there, 31.4 inches long. So it's slightly below 3 feet. It's nice to have, because you don't have to bend down and do stuff. You see, as you can see in the picture, you see a happy young woman there. And that's basically what I want to do for the that wall right there. I want to put it right there in that wall, so my wife can grow some stuff there, some herbs and some vegetables. Of course, we have a whole bunch of stuff out there. However, this is something that she can have there, and it's right there. It's pretty good. And like I said, the price was $79.99, so you can't go wrong with that. Like I said, I've been eyeing for one of these for a while, but I was waiting for a nice price drop, and today was the day. So let's put it together. Let's open up the box, and let's like I said, let's put it together. So let's open the box. Of course, it's not super duper heavy, but it is it could be quite heavy for not so average. It is a little slight heavy. I don't know how much pounds it is. I'm trying to look at the packaging there. Anyway, so we're gonna take out the box here. Of course, let me move this open here a little bit. Have it open like that. Of course, you got your instructions right here. Of course, right off the bat, you can see there what the weight limit is: 242 pounds. Maximum up here, this bottom shelf, 22 pounds or 10 kilos, and 110 kilo weight limit up here, okay? Of course, when you take everything out the box there, you just look at all the parts, make sure everything is in order. Make sure there's nothing broken, anything like that. Of course, always pay attention to the parts list. Okay, I'm sorry for the focus here. I'm outdoors, so I'm sorry. I don't want to hear no people complaining, please. Anyway, always check your parts list, your inventory, make sure everything matches up. Of course, you got your hardware right here. There's all your hardware. There are going to be some screws. There's 32 screws here, I believe, 32 by 2-inch screws. Okay, 32 20 screws there. Okay, so there we go. Also, for a point of reference, if you have the instructions, this is how it's stacked up in the package. That's how it's stacked up in the box, okay? So, of course, every part has a letter. As you can see, corresponds to this. So, M is this guy right here. And then you got RL and double L. That's going to be the legs over there. So, everything here has letters in it. Very simple. No problem. We're going to do step one. Of course, that's M. This is RL, double L. You got these little things here. Just break them off. Or if you want to use a little X-Acto knife, you can. You don't need it. You just break this just to hold them together. Okay? Little things here. Just take these things off. Okay? Of course, M, double L. Just push it down right there. It's going to snug fit in there. Okay? RL. Make sure it lines up. It's like a D-shaped type thing. It's gonna fit right in. It only fits in one way. This is for the lower shelf. Make sure you have these two here. Pretty simple. Just push it in there. You don't need to tap anything else. I mean, if you want to tap it with a little mallet, you can, but it's not necessary. Okay, there you go. Same thing on the other end. Okay, again, RL, double L. Got these little tabs. You can just break them. This one's a little stronger there. Throw that there. Okay, again, this is LL. Line it up. Push it down right there. You see this is facing there. This is RL. You push that down. That's it, okay? Pretty simple. All right, so the second step is we're gonna put those two legs there, but before you do that, you gotta put this shelf, okay? So you can see the instructions like this. Now, if you look at the bottom of the shelf, of course, is the letter S. Okay, you notice that these are longer on this side than this side. Okay, so it's gonna be like, this is the shelf, the way it looks. You're gonna put it upside down like that because obviously this is upside down. Line it up right here. Okay, and then that's gonna go in first, and then we're gonna put the legs there. Okay, okay. What you're gonna do is, like I said, the long side, you're gonna push them in. They're gonna go right in there. You're gonna hold this up. Of course, you're gonna be holding the leg, and you just push that in there, and all you do is this. It's very simple. Okay, just remember that the long rods are gonna be on this side. You see the letter M down there, the letter S right there. Okay, so everything is gonna be this side according to the instructions. Okay, it only fits one way. Okay, you see number one, they're much longer than the other side. You see the other side, they're much shorter. Okay, so it's in there. Okay, so now it's all good. Okay, it's a little tricky at first, but just remember, just line up the M and the S. If you try to put this the other way around, it won't work. Okay, so the next step is we're gonna put some screws. So of course, as you push that in, the screws right there, you're gonna put the screw in right there. I know the lighting here kind of sucks, I'm sorry. It's late afternoon now. So, you know, I have shady trees on top of me, so it's going to be right there, okay? You can see. We're going to put the screws in there, okay? One screw on each spot, okay? As you can see, all the screws are secure. Okay? There you go. Okay, now we got to snap on these feet on top here, so each of them, just put the feet. Pretty simple. Okay. Just tap them in there. Easy peasy. Okay. Put that in there. That's for your feet. There you go. Standing right here. Okay, it's not heavy at all. It's the bottom shelf. Now this is going to be, we're going to build the walls and then the inside, okay? Now these are the walls for the side. I mean for the front, excuse me, for the front. These are the walls, right? Okay, these are the corners. Of course, leather C. Now, of course, they're going to want you to put it like this. I explained to you before I do it. They're going to want you to put it like this. But they want you to put it also in a slightly not lined up like this. They want you to have it like this. Okay, so it's going to be like tilted. When you put the bracket in, you don't when you put the bracket in here, sorry about that. When you put the bracket in there, they don't want you to just line it up with it. They want you to have it kind of like slightly. Okay, I'll show you. You have this shelf. When you put this in, you're not gonna put it like this. You're gonna actually, they do have a thing that actually stops it. You see that little notch? See, this one doesn't have it, so you're gonna line it up. You cannot go any further than that. It'll create the what do you call it? I think that's what it does. Yeah. And when you put it, you have to put it. You know, kind of line it up. There you go. So it actually prevents it. You see? So you can't go any further anyway. Even if you wanted to, you can't. Okay, that's the way it should be. Okay, sorry about that. That's the way it should be. Okay, so there you go. I put them, and you see they're slightly When you push them in, they're not going to be able to line up because that's by design. It's supposed to be like that because there is a piece of plastic that prevents it from lining up. So it's going to be like in an angle. Okay, it is in an angle. Also, make sure that this side is facing front because you could easily do the other way by mistake because you want this side to be inside. You want this side to be full of dirt. You want this side to be the outside part that looks nice. Okay? Make sure this part is the one that when you put it, it's showing outside, okay? And now we're going to put this there. Now we're going to put the wall there. See, I already put that one there. Just line it up. Oh, see, I got this crap in here. Sorry about that. Just line it up like that. Just, oh, pinch my finger there. Wow. I did pinch my finger. We should just line it up right there. Try that again. Line it up like that. Wow. And make up. You will pinch your finger here. Okay. There you go. Of course, everything's going to be secured with some hardware. There you go. As you can see. Now we got to do the ends. Okay. Go this way. Now we got to do these ends. That'll be the next. Okay, I already put the end on that side. Same thing with this. There's going to be a slight. When you put this there, of course, you got that little notch again. That's going to prevent this from lining up like this. It's supposed to be. That's the way it's supposed to be. Kind of going out. You just put this in there on one side. Try to get it on one side. You might have to lift this up a little bit. Yeah, you might have to lift it out. Line it up with the other one. And get them in there like that. And then get them in there and then you tap them all in there. Should be able to. There you go. There we go. So it's one. Okay. And of course all this is going to be secure with some hardware. So there you go. So of course now we have to put the screws on each upper portion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we have to do those screws first. So of course I put all the screws in. I have the last one right here. There you go. And one more. I already did one of those. Excuse me. There we go. One more. There we go. Okay. Now we have to do the lower 8. Okay. I got all the screws secure except for one more. This is the lower 8. There we go. And now we have to do these. Okay. The last 2 right here. I believe that's the last one. Last one. Okay. All here. And there we go. And that's it. Every screw there. All done. Now, of course, this elevated raised bed has a drain system, which is pretty cool. That's what makes this raised garden bed very nice to have, very easy to maintain. So what's going to happen is, you see, you have this kind of like a filter. Okay, so in other words, what happens is, example, if you get rain or you put too much water in the raised bed, it doesn't stay on the soil. All that water drains down to a reservoir, and eventually you can just flush it out. Okay, so it does have a system where it can tell you if, for example, there's too much water in the planter. Okay, so that way you don't overwater your plants and prevent root rot, and that way, you know. So this is going to go in there. You're going to line it up a particular way. So right now, for example, you can see that little hole over there. That is the drain. But over here, there is a gauge. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take this guy. See where the hole is at? You're going to drop it in there. Make sure it lines up with the gauge. You're going to drop it in there, and that's it. Snap right in there. That's it. You see? You push it down, you snap it right in there. And that's it, okay? The gauge is going to go here. It's going to be a water gauge that's going to go here. And that gauge will tell you if you have water in your, if you don't need to water your plants. So this is your gauge. So you see right now you have that little plant right there, makeshift plant. If this thing goes up here, that means you have too much water in your raised bed. In other words, do not put any more water in it. Or you might have to drain it out. Okay? So this this gauge, water gauge, is just going to snap in there. Right in that hole. Just put it right in there. And that's it. Okay? So you can see right there. Okay? Now I flipped it over to the other side because right here there is the opening here. You're going to take this guy. Let me show it right there. You're going to put it in there. And of course it has like a little water drop. Make sure it's not upside down like that. It's this way, okay? Just like the instructions say. And the instruction says it right there, okay? I'm sorry, focus in there. I don't know, lighting is too bright right now, but that's the way you want it, okay? So we're just going to put this right in there. It's going to snap in there. And that's it. Okay, now what's going to happen is, for example, if you get rain and this thing gets full of water, you just pull this out and it's going to drain out the water. Okay, it's going to drain. And then also I recommend that if you're gonna get a lot of rain that day, just leave the valve open so the water doesn't flood up in here. Because you're gonna have to drain it out anyway, and that way to keep draining it out. Okay. All right. And there you go. So as you can see, it's all complete. This is the Keter Deco Elevated Garden Bed. This is a 29-gallon one. Of course, like I said, I paid $79.99 from Sam's Club. It's a great deal. So there you go, fully assembled. Of course, you got your water gauge right there, indicating that you no longer need to water it. It has plenty of water. And if you have too much water, on the other side right here, you have the valve that you could release, or the drain to release the water, okay? So there you go. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. And thank you for watching. I will see you on the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.